And we're live. What's up,
Cool.
everybody? Thank you, TKK, for being here. TKK YouTube channel, all about TKK, link in the description. This man can definitely tell you which TV he recommends. People ask me sometimes, hey, should I get this or that? And, I can tell you my best guess based on the information that I've been given, but you need someone who has the TVs, and I can actually tell you, their experience. So here's your man, TKK. He has them all the technologies, so he can tell you what he really likes. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just poured me a drink. I had a long day at work, sipping a little bit. I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me on here, man.
Well, thank you very much for being here, man. The first thing that I want to ask you, and this is real. We no plans here. This is like Joe Rogan style here. We didn't talk about before, none of that. So we're just gonna freestyle. If you have any questions, let me know. What's up, Gaming Tech? Is on the comments. He was busy. We're trying to do like a multiple live streams. Trying to take advantage of StreamYard because we paid for it, StreamYard Pro. So we want to do as many live streams as possible now. And yeah, thank you, Gaming Tech, for being here. So the first thing I wanted to ask you, TKK, do you see, this S90C is now gonna start having the second gen panel on the smaller sizes. Can you tell by just looking at the screen between the S95B and the S95C? Can you tell which one is just the screen looks different? Can you tell the difference how they look just off the TV off, not even on? So in that way, you can tell people, if you are on the store or something, you can just look at this or that, and then if it's second gen or if it's first gen. You understand the usefulness of identifying that on the S90C, because if it's 55-inch or 65, maybe you would be able to tell if it's second gen, and that would be better. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you asking me if I know the differences between, like, if I can physically discern the differences
Basically.
between 90C and 95C.
Yes, if you can physically see a difference on the screen, the way the screen look, let's say that it looks more purple or more reddish on the second gen panel, something that might be, I mean, it might be impossible to tell. I'm just wondering if there is a physical difference. You go to a store and the TV is off, or maybe I'm not sure if you can buy it on the store and ask them to take it out of the box just to check that everything is good, the quality control. And then you just by looking at the TV, you're like, that's second gen or that's first gen, and then tell them, hey, you know, search for, bring me another one. This one has, this defect or something, to see if you can, win the lottery, or you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So yeah, I mean the answer is I can so you can immediately tell the difference between 95C and 90C. Um, Even when you go to the stores and look at them, I mean, you got to pay good attention, but the whites are going to be brighter on the 95C. Um, there's just a little bit more detail within like the color saturation. Um, as far as like the lottery thing, man, that's going to be a slippery slope. I would tell a person to not focus so much on Gen 2 just because the price is so damn good on 90C. If you're getting anything smaller than the 77-inch, obviously there's not going to really be a way. I mean, at some point, I'm sure there'll be model numbers that people will be able to look towards to say, yeah, I know for a fact I got a Gen 2 panel, but yeah, I could tell the difference to answer your question. Hell, I could tell the difference.
Yeah, when it's on, you can look at the picture quality and the colors and all of that. But I was wondering, and I mean, nobody might have the answer to this, or it might not be possible to tell them apart. I
You
was
talking about when it's
wondering,
turned off?
yeah, when the screen is off, it was not even on. Not, no way.
I mean, there might be some scientific person out there that has studied that shit, but no, I can't tell the difference.
It will be very, very tough to tell. Okay, that was something that I was really, wondering. And yeah, man, we can just talk about. Let's see what we have on the comments. We have some questions already. I like to to address all the comments and answer all the questions. And there are things that I would like to talk about with you and ask you. Yeah, like for example, like what do you like about doing this? You mentioned that the YouTube channel basically. What is that you enjoy? You mentioned that you were doing this before, like trying to always have the latest TV and everything, and you were just not recording it. So it's not like you're doing this just getting all the TVs only exclusively for the YouTube channel. It's something that you were um, enjoying doing before. But what is that that you really like about doing this YouTube channel? Because it's a lot of work. It's not an easy thing. So you definitely have some enjoyment, something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is my second time doing YouTube. My first time doing YouTube, I had a channel that had about 7,000 subscribers. It was called The King Kendrick, which is where TKK comes from. And it was a channel I made back in like 2009. And it was really just a gaming channel. And it was kind of like how this channel is. I would post like my cars and, my gaming setups and that type of stuff. And I would play a lot of Street Fighter. But I just started doing some weird stuff on there. So I literally deleted the channel. Now, as far as the TV stuff, man, forever. Like as far back as CRTs, like premium CRTs. I always had like,
oh really?
Multiple TVs, multiple DLPs, plasmas. That's just me.
Oh, tell me about it. Like I've never seen in person a DLP. Are they good or are they not a good technology? The DLP
terrible for input latency, like terrible. I mean, yeah, I was buying a lot of the Samsung DLPs, and I mean they look pretty damn good, but it was nothing you would want to game on. It would be a panel that you'd want to use to look and get a good picture at the time, but not good for gaming. But yeah, I went through the CRT, the DLP, the plasma, the LED. It's always been this way, always.
Okay, but they actually look good. The DLPs look good because I've seen them for free now. They use markers. I'm like, man, I would like to see how that looks just out of curiosity, but they are gigantic. We're talking about.
Next time I go to Detroit, my mother in her house that's in Detroit, she got I think she got a 46-inch Samsung DLP that I gave it to her a long time ago. I mean, it needs a new bulb, so I think that might be some cool content because that's probably like the oldest TV that I own. But I also got one, if not two, Trinitrons that are still in Michigan also.
Oh, you have Sony Trinitrons?
Yeah, I've had several Trinitrons in my life, several.
Whew. And like a huge, like ones that there are some that come with a special stand, and they are like the stand is joined together.
The 36-inch ones, yeah, they weigh
Wow.
like 370 pounds.
370 pounds.
Yeah,
that's a cow.
Yeah.
Wow. And let me ask you, is that the HD version? Like they have HDMI or what's the input?
I had the ones that had the components, not the HDMIs. I had the ones that had the components. I never had one that had an HDMI.
And have you ever, I mean, you no longer have them, of course, but did you ever try to connect them as a PC monitor?
Nah, I never tried to do that. Yeah, the latest Trinitron I had was hey, what year did we get rid of that Trinitron? 15. Like 19. Yeah, it was like 19. I had a Trinitron I got rid of. It was 18 or 19, one of those years, man. But it was crazy. I hated I did that because I kind of set it out on the yard.
Oh, really?
When you just want to get rid of something. But it's too much work to move it. And the reason I got rid of it is because I didn't have the stand for it. If you don't have the stand for it, it's like there's no furniture made today that can hold that TV comfortably. Everything is designed for like flat panels. So you really have to have that proprietary base or some type of old furniture, you know what I mean, to be able to position that TV. So I got rid of the last one I had, like where I'm located now. It was like 2018, 17, somewhere around there. But it was a great TV to be able to play like old consoles because I still have like an original Xbox. So like that type of technology was great on, but there's no value for it beyond that.
But I'm surprised that, because you like a Street Fighter and that's like 60 FPS. No, that's locked for competitive, at least those fighting games are locked to 60 for
Yep.
competitive. I mean, I don't think you can, in terms of the input lag and the clarity of the image in motion. If you have a big CRT like that, I don't think it gets any better than that for competitive.
That's why I have two big blue arcades. Like I got two real arcades.
Oh, you do? But are they CRTs, the screens?
I'm
Oh,
not talking
really?
about the Vulix and the Chulix, but the actual. I have two actual arcades. Yeah.
Oh, but so they have a CRT too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and how does that compare, like in terms of the input lag, the responsiveness, how the clarity of the image? How does that compare with the TVs that you have?
The clarity of the images. I mean, to be honest with you, it's trash.
Oh, really? But you
I
mean
mean,
static?
performance is everything, and it's not really trash, but it's just that I'm accustomed to a
Yeah,
standard.
4K,
Yeah,
perfect contrast,
yeah,
the
yep. I'm
colors,
accustomed to the standard.
yeah. So you mean, yeah, of course, like a static image is a lower resolution, but I guess that you feel that on the input lag, and when the characters are moving on the screen like this, it should win over.
Yep. Let me see if I can. Does this thing allow me the option to? Here, let me take you to these two cabinets. Okay, is that cool?
Okay, yeah, absolutely, go for it. That's awesome. Let me read the chat and see what we have here. Hamza said, Classy said 77-inch S90C and S95C are 99% identical,
Yeah,
both
that's
second gen. Yeah, the
that's
77.
77 though.
Yeah, that's because they didn't make the 77-inch S95B. So because the 77 size was only introduced, with this second gen panel, that's what they're using, second gen panel. So I guess that they are just using the first gen panels until they last, because they're not going to keep doing the first gen panel. Maybe the cost of production is the same thing. So after they run out of first gen, then you might just get second gen for all the S90Cs, even at the smaller sizes. Okay, I see it there, man.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
CRTs.
you see that the screen is kind of green. What's the size of that? 32-inch?
Nah, they're 19.
27? Oh, 19 inches?
Yeah, 19. These are big blues. Yep, those are 19-inch machines. So, yep.
I watched some of your videos where you had like a Philips, or it wasn't like an LCD screen inside of one of those cabinets. But I guess you have multiple.
Yeah, those cabinets are Japanese based cabinets, so those have been modified to be more modern. They're modernized. So yeah, those have like 4K screens and such like that in them. That's the let me see. Hold on a second. Let me get you on here.
Yeah, I'm just surprised you said that the picture quality was trash. I was expecting you to tell me that was actually very nice, especially the colors on. No, CRT is like Rec 709 or less.
Yeah. So
But
those are
it
those
still
ones
looks.
that got the Philips. Like the orange one
Oh
got the
yeah,
Philips.
that's what I remember.
Yeah, those are the ones, brother. But no, they're not trash, man. It's just in comparison. When you used to looking at what I'm saying, something like that.
Of course. I mean, comparing, 4K 77-inch perfect blacks, 91% color gamut,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's too much, the difference. But yeah, what I was referring to is basically, because of the input lag, just like flawless for 60 FPS, flawless input lag, then
100%.
the clarity of the image, if you're like fighting, the character is moving a lot on the screen. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
doing this, like it's moving on your screen a lot.
Yep.
So the clarity of that, it should be superior to
So
just
my
sample.
my competitive background in gaming comes from playing on those, like playing on the arcades in the 90s. Like those are cabinets. That's why I have those cabinets. And that's not my first time having those type of cabinets. But the reason I got those cabinets is because it's very nostalgic for me. I play on tournaments. I travel from like Detroit to like Chicago or different areas. you know, back in the 90s, playing in tournaments on those actual cabinets. So yeah, those things are flawless from that perspective. It's just they're not modern. They're just not modern. So they're not convenient in today's standards because we want certain things like variable refresh rate. You want, you know, the certain type of colors and things like that. So I still love playing on those things. It's just that, you know, it's not convenient.
And you mean the model that you have is like a model that they use on the tournaments?
Yeah, those two cabinets I showed you in the garage, those are called Big Blues. Those are like the real deal. Like that's like when you went to an arcade that had those, like those are the cabinets you want to play on. They got the biggest layout for two people to be able to play on, the best sound, they got the best monitors in them for whatever that standard was then. So yeah, those are great options.
But can you play motor games there, or can you connect the PC and play Street Fighter? Like,
You can. If you search on YouTube, there's a person, I can't think of who he is. He actually made one of those cabinets. He transferred it and made it a Street Fighter 6 cabinet. So he got a PC connected to it and it's running in like a 280 or some kind of resolution. There's a guy that made one of those cabinets into Street Fighter 6 and he got like a PC running on it. It's pretty awesome. It's not something that I would really want to do, but you know, it's a cool concept.
so what you can play on that cabinet? What is like Nintendo 64, like, or just it has its own? Oh, it is Nintendo 64.
Yep. I mean, yeah, you kind of can do whatever, you know, if you decide to. Me personally, I'm okay playing on a flat panel today. Like I've kind of just got to that point where I'm okay playing on a flat panel.
Oh, me too. That's what I have. But
Yeah.
yeah, I you know, for fighting games, I think that's a killer, especially at 60 FPS. 60 FPS on a flat panel, especially a very big screen like 77-inch, is very very blurry
Mm-hmm.
because you know it's just not enough frames. The CRTs, do you know the specs of that screen? Like, what is the resolution of that screen?
That I don't know. I'm sorry, but then also I've been drinking a little bit, so
Okay,
mine is
but it
not
might be
like
like 540p or
yeah.
something like that. 540p, like very
Um.
below 1080p.
Oh, it's definitely. I don't think it's as high as even. I don't think those are even like 480p.
Oh no.
Nah, I don't think those are even 480p, man. Those are low because that's the reason why you can't just plug a PC up to those is because the resolution is really weird. Like you got to have a specific graphics card and everything for those type of monitors. If you were trying to do any kind of convergence on those, yeah, it's very unique.
Oh, okay. Well, let me read the chat. And I mean, you're free to, you know, ask me or say anything. You can read the chat also, like anything. You're
Well,
free.
what about you, man? I'm more interested in you. I actually wanted to interview you, so we can kind of use this for me to ask some questions for you too, man.
Oh,
What
absolutely. Hey, and
I,
anytime
I
you can call me anytime. I will go to your channel too, man.
yeah. And just so you guys know, when y'all see this on the playback, I actually have this man's phone number. He has my number. So this man is actually able to text me, call me, like he has my personal number. I just want to say that I'm a fan. I believe that you know you deserve to have a level of success on here, and I just can't wait to see it. Hold on one second. Come here, baby. What's up?
Oh, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Time for you to go to bed, okay? Good night.
I wanted to tell you that my eye hurt.
Okay, baby. Well, it's time for you to go to bed still.
Okay.
Okay? Good night. Okay. Yeah. Daddy duties never end. But so what inspires you to do what you're doing on YouTube? Because you kind of have this niche on YouTube with TVs where you're not going after reviewing different models, which I love, but you're talking about the technical aspects of things that nobody else really even talks about. Like when I first seen you talking about, I think it was the you did the secret menu on the C1. I said this guy's special.
But
I
I
said
didn't discover that. I didn't discover that. Actually, I saw that on Quantum's TV YouTube channel.
you didn't discover it, but the way you articulated it,
Oh yeah, I
That's
went
what made it
crazy with
special.
it. I went crazy with it. I was so excited about it, man, because I was honestly, I was going to return the LGC one because I was very upset. I was expecting to be blown away, and then I opened God of War, which is a mess. I later discovered that game's just a mess on HDR, but I didn't know that. I mean, if you spend, $3, $4, $5,000 on a gaming PC, then $1,000 on a TV, you open the latest game, the best, Sony exclusive coming to the PC, and it looks like crap. Like, I was very upset, very frustrated. So then when I discovered this like trick, the HLG trick, is that the video you're talking about? Yeah, so when I discovered that, man, I was like so happy because it works for everything, and then you get that brightness punch, and I was like just blown away with it. But what really, what excites me, what I like the most about this YouTube channel is the way I am learning with it, because people know. Like, I don't know. I am not an expert. What I do, for example, the latest video, the last video that I made, everything, almost everything on that video is wrong. Okay, and everything is wrong. Like, I have no clue about what I'm talking about there, but it doesn't matter because it's not my ego. I don't care. It's about learning, and the community tells me that people are watching the channel. They know a lot, and they know a lot more than me in a lot of things. So I just want to throw this up there and open the conversation, like you say on your video. Let's get some engagement. And when I open up that conversation, I learn. And now next video, boom, I know. See,
Yep.
because people tell me, hey, do this, do that, try this, try that. This is how it works. And I learn faster by doing that. So instead of me waiting a week, trying to figure it all out by myself and coming out to you as an expert, which I am not anyway, I much rather just throw it out there, learn faster, boost that learning process, and then next time I know better. And that's how this community has grown, and that's how I learn most of the things that I know. For example, we wanted to do this collaboration about motion clarity on these TVs because that's something that I truly believe that we need. I mean, there's almost nothing when it comes to the motion settings that these TVs have, almost nothing, especially black from insertion, that we have no information. So I wanted to, do some collaborations with you to try to figure that out. But for example, when I started trying to understand the motion clarity, the Blur Busters law, and all of that, I made like 6 videos without fully understanding it, with a lot of mistakes on the videos. I don't care. Like the Blur Busters chief reached out to me and told me, hey, let me explain you. I see you are excited about it. That's very good because you're gonna spread the word. You're gonna explain to people. Let me explain you how this works so you can actually understand it so you can communicate it. That's awesome. So then he explains me. He answered all my questions, and that's why I'm excited about this, because of course I have ego, but I'm not concerned about perfection or not making any mistakes or saying facts. No, I am honest. First of all, like if I don't know, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. Okay, like I tried this and I don't know what it's doing. Like I have no clue. And people tell me,
Yeah.
this is what it does, and that's why I enjoyed this, because of the progress, because of that, learning. Progress for me. Progress equals happiness. That's
Yeah.
me. If I'm making progress at anything, it can be making more money, it can be learning about something specifically, my guitar, music, my understanding of the universe, whatever it is. If I am making progress, I am happy, bro. That's what I'm
Nice.
all about. So I am making progress and learning slowly with the channel. That's why I enjoy doing it, man.
Yeah. Douglas Wright asks TKK, what games you playing besides Street Fighter these days? Spider-Man. I've been backlogging Spider-Man Remastered, and then I never played Miles, so playing Miles a little bit because in a couple of weeks we're gonna get Spider-Man 2. So I'm personally excited for that. And then also I'm considering playing Assassin's Creed, the newest one that just came out. But to be honest with you, there's still some content that I haven't played and discovered in Valhalla. So I'm not really sure, if that's like a chronological following. But honestly, I don't play a lot of games. I say I'm a gamer a lot, but the reality is I'm just a nerd for technology these days. I don't have as much time as I'd like to have for gaming. So playing fighting games like Street Fighter always was a good pastime for me because it just stimulates my mind. It's like chess. It's not about me playing the game, but it's about me playing the opponent. I don't play fighting games to play computers. I don't play fighting games to discover the story. I play fighting games to test myself. I play fighting games to figure out things about myself, opportunities for myself. And that's always what it was about. That's what I enjoyed about playing in the arcades, because I could challenge somebody and be so close to them. It's almost like we're boxing. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I play. I play fighting games, but I'm excited for Spider-Man 2 to answer your question.
Yeah, I was watching some of your Street Fighter videos, and the way, your perspective, like the way you play, like what you're thinking, I'm doing this and that. And I'm like, how? Like, I didn't know that you were so into it. Like, what I mean is like, oh, he's thinking this and that. I thought that fighting games was about just smashing the buttons so fast.
Yeah, there's a science, man. It's a mathematical breakdown. It's all at the highest level. It's all about frame data. And so just spacing, and every button you hit has a number where when you throw something out, how long it's going to be active. If you hit it, if you're plus, if you're negative, that's how combos are created. A combo can't exist if the mathematical breakdown doesn't add up. So the highest tier playing a fighting game comes down to you just being able to count frames. So it's very meticulous, and that's what I enjoy about it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, me playing fighting games is about me. It's my mind versus the next person's mind, and that's what I enjoy about it. Now, there's obvious things that taint that a little bit. Like when you're playing online, you have to deal with input latency, but that's what I still enjoy about it today. So I appreciate you noticing that.
Yeah, my experience with fighting games, what I remember when I was a kid, Mortal Kombat and all these games, is that the brutality, fatality, and all of that, it was a mystery because there was no internet back then, where I was. And to learn how to do those stuff was someone that somehow he discovered a fatality, and then you had to practice that combination of, and it never worked. Like, it was very difficult to do the brutality. I still remember, this was so engraved on my brain. I still remember in Spanish, lleve LX, lleve LX, lleve LX, something like that, And I remember the combination trying to do it. And yeah, that was the magic behind it, that there was no place to look at those finish move.
There's a question Rufus has, and you probably can answer it. He says, question, can you guys explain what the soap opera effect is? He said, all I can find online is that some people can see it and others don't, but what does it actually look like? You want to try to answer that question? It's
an artifact. It's something that doesn't look good. It doesn't look right in motion. And that's what it is. It's just something that looks weird with the motion. It's an artifact, something that looks bad. That's it. It comes because of the motion interpolation. But for example, when you use a black film insertion or any kind of backlight manipulation technique or OLED Motion Pro, and you have enough frames, that doesn't happen. Like, there's zero soap opera effect. No, zero whatsoever. For example, the LG C2, for example, at 60 FPS with OLED motion engaged with this black film insertion, looks in motion like 120 FPS without any soap opera effect whatsoever. But now, instead of, if you don't use OLED Motion Pro, that black film insertion on the C2, if you instead use D-Blur 10, then you get real 120 FPS. So you get 60 real, let's say, and 60 interpolated frames. But now you can see some artifacts, some things that don't look right, especially if you pan the camera super fast, or if there's an object that it gets, it has occlusion and something that was behind, then the algorithm cannot figure it out. Because think about this. if you're going to interpolate frames, like AI generated frames, if there is something that is not on screen, how the algorithm is going to figure that out? It's impossible. So if you're going to move to the right, the algorithm doesn't know what is, beyond the screen. So it is understandable, and it doesn't know what is behind, let's say, the character. If there's an object on the screen that's occluding something, it doesn't know. So you're always gonna get some weirdness going on until NVIDIA, figures something out that is just mind blowing, and then you don't see that. But there's always artifacts and things that don't look right. But if you have like a slow panning shot or something like that, it's amazing. You get a very good experience.
Yeah, so I always like to articulate, and that's a very, like, that sums it up. I think, like, at the more basic way to explain it, I always like to explain soap opera effect. The TV essentially is creating frames or content that isn't really there. So stuff doesn't look like it's supposed to look. Or when they say soap opera effect, like, I don't know how old some of you guys are. I'm in my 40s, but if you ever watched a soap opera like All My Children or Days of My Lives, that type of content, it always looked like it's moving faster than it really is. And so that's kind of like how it is too. When I talk to older people that might ask me questions about TVs, like, I can always use that as an analogy to kind of explain it to them, because they've seen that content, because that content's 40, 50 years old. So they'll understand what I mean. But you broke that down really good, brother. Very scientific, man. That's why I respect you so damn much.
We have to get scientific, TKK, with the motion settings of these TVs, because, man, I would really like to know. For example, you got this TCL TV that I am very interested in. We have
It's in
to
the garage. It was just, I just seen it out there, man. It's I'm trying to, not to interrupt you, but
go
that
ahead.
TV's in the garage. When I was just out there showing you them blue arcade cabinets, it was right to the right of it. And so I'm trying to get my garage situated so that I can, what I like to be able to do is I like to be able to set 2 TVs on the wall in my garage so that I can have a running stream of content with me comparing different ones. But the Q7 and the U7K, both of those TVs, good options. I'm glad you brought up the Blur Buster, because I know we talked off camera, and you told me that's the way you like to kind of test motion. So I want to make sure that you can be a part of helping me test that. Also, this A95L, I want you to be able to help me with that too.
Yeah, I think that, man, this is like a much needed content, much needed content. No, because nobody mentions that. What I see in most of the reviews when it comes to black frame insertion or any backlight manipulation technique is basically, oh, it flickers, it's not worth using, or oh, you lose brightness, so yeah, don't even try it. That's not fair. Okay, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Because first of all, flickering perception depends on the person. Some people might see more flickering than others. So you cannot say, "Oh, that's just useless because my eyes don't like it." Because other people might be interested in it. If you're a reviewer, you should give it a fair chance. Test
Yep.
it and see what it is. And the other thing is, it has earned a bad reputation because most of the TVs I know of, at least the LG TVs, basically after 2021 with the C2, C3, like LG removed the 120 black frame insertion, and the WRGB OLEDs are coming from LG, so you don't get that anymore. So if flickers for most people might be visible, the flickering at 60, but at 100 or 120 on the C1 or CX, the flickering is gone for most people. Like, most people wouldn't be able to see any flickering at all. Okay, it looks dark, that's something else, but it looks very good, and it is definitely useful. And these LCD TVs have the potential to be very good at doing that because they have a lot of brightness, full screen brightness power. So this QM8, no, the QM8, no, the TCL in general, all these TCLs from this year, I think, at least the full array local dimming maybe, or mini LED, they are saying that their motion is called 480, something like that.
Yeah.
So I forgot the term of that thing. But I guess that what they are implying is that it looks like 480 in motion. So what that means is, like, let's say you have a 480 hertz TV at 480 FPS in motion. I guess that's what they're trying to say. So, but that needs to be tested, and I haven't seen that tested anywhere.
Now I'm curious. I mean, you keep talking, brother. I'm gonna go out here and see what they call it on this box.
Yeah, they call it. I forgot how they call it. Let me read some of the chat. I haven't read anything, man. I like to read all the comments always. So I'll try my best to catch up with the comments. So you feel encouraged to drop a comment on the chat. Let me see. Duke says, I was surprised when TKK got the Q7 and U7K instead of the QM8 and UAK.
That's because
because
the Q7 comes in 55 inch. The Q8 doesn't come. It doesn't come that small.
Oh, you needed that size. The QM8 is like 65 minimum.
They call it motion rate 480.
Motion rate 480. Game accelerator 240. AMD FreeSync. In that game accelerator, is that 240 hertz at 1080p?
I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what I will
that's
tell
what we need to figure it out, man.
Yeah, we'll
because
bring it back to the channel.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You don't know? No, nobody knows. That's the thing. So you have a feature on these TVs, that's on the box, and nobody knows. Nobody has tested that. There's no reviews about, not that I know of, and I've been trying to search about it. So that needs to be investigated, because I would like to, commend them if they did a great job with that feature, and that might be a selling point for some people. Why not? It might look amazing in motion. You don't know, and we need to test it. Think?
I agree, man. I agree. There's a comment I wanted to respond to. Let me get to this seat. Miguel, I appreciate you, man. You are active on my channel and on this channel here, and I appreciate you. He said, I keep telling TKK he needs to bring TCL and Hisense to the channel. And you do say that. I just want to make one thing respectfully clear. Like, my channel is literally called All About TKK because it's just like the things that I'm into. The reality is, like, I'm not into, and let me see how I want to word this. I'm not into the cheaper TVs. I don't mean any disrespect to that, but I'm just to a point now where I'm a very selfish person. When I buy myself something, I want it to be made for me. And so, unfortunately, for some people, that comes out to be A95L, S95C level of TV. So what I did was I bought into the U7K and I bought into the Q7 just because I wanted to be able to look through the optics of what, like, an average consumer would look for. The reality, though, if I'm being honest, that's not a TV for me. So if I make content on it, the content won't look real because I have to be able to enjoy what I'm actually doing. That's what I've enjoyed about doing this thing on YouTube, is that I could just get on here and I could just talk about stuff that I actually want to enjoy. So that's why you have so many different people like Plasma, who has a C1, who I can still enjoy stuff from. But it's not that I don't want to make content about TVs that don't cost a small fortune, if you will. It's just that, I make content about the TVs that I buy for myself to enjoy. So I like to share that enjoyment. So I just wanted to bring that to you, Miguel, and let you know it's nothing personal. As you can see, I got the TCL, we got the Hisense. It's just that I can make content about it, but it's not gonna look like real content because I gotta really enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best about having a YouTube channel. One of the best things is that, we are our own boss. Like, we do whatever we want. We do content, and that's the reason why I do it too. Like, I do this because I can do whatever I want. So I have a voice in this space. And sometimes we are watching a video of, content that we enjoy or something. We have something to say about that. man, I just want to make a video about this. See, and,
Yep.
and that feels good. It feels good to have a voice in the space because we all have a voice in the space, and sometimes we want to be loud about it. And of
Mhm.
course, the more people follow you, I mean, you have 10,000 subscribers. The bigger you are in the space, your voice becomes louder. And
I can't
sometimes,
believe I have 10,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. Like I cannot believe it, bro. I'm just gonna tell you here. I cannot believe that I've had 10,000 people that have hit that button and said, you know what, I want to at some point or another be tuned into if this guy has something to say. Like that is just such a blessing. I just have to say that I am super humble and I can't wait for you to hit that milestone because it feels good. But I still can't believe it, bro.
that's amazing. I mean, and we are brothers of C1 because you started with the C1 too,
Yep.
with your content with the LG C1. What year you started? 2021.
Yeah, so my channel's old, but I legit started in 2021. That's when I was just like, you know what? I was already buying TVs year after year after year. I was like, man, I might as well just do this. And it's because I was seeing guys like Quantum and Tech with KG, and it was just like I was seeing other people make content. I'm like, man, I should do this. That's all it was. Like,
Yeah,
what encouraged you? Like, I know we talked about like why you make your channel, but
yeah.
what was that breaking point where you was like, you know what, I can do this too?
No, for me was, I mean, I got a plasma TV for $25. Okay, and the reason why I got that was because I spent all my money on the GPU. You know, when the 30 series GPUs, they were very expensive because of the mining boom and all
Yep.
that.
Yep.
So I mean, I didn't have money after I bought that and completed my PC build to get the OLED. So I said, okay, I have to wait to get the OLED a little bit. So I need something like a transition, like a TV to transition. And okay, I researched and okay, plasmas are supposed to have good picture quality and they're very cheap. Let me try it.
Yep.
$25, man. I go home, and here's the thing: when I bought this plasma TV, it was a Panasonic Viera
Mm,
TCP 42S1, so 42 inches plasma TV, $25. The
mm,
person who sold this to me was on a parking lot, and he tested the TV with a power supply, with a battery, and because it was Sony, the picture quality was crap. And I was like thinking, man, this looks very bad, but I'm going to take it because I already did the trip. $25.
yeah.
So, and I go back home and turn that thing on. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Like I had an IPS gaming monitor, like not a good one, but 95 hertz Pixio IPS gaming monitor, and I'm like just blown away. Like this looks absolutely unbelievable. $25. People need to know. Like I have to record a video and put it out there because this is insane that you can get this kind of picture quality for $25. That's free. Okay. You tell me what, that's just free. And here in the US, you can find those plasma TVs for nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why I opened the channel. So then I got the plasma, make some videos. Then I got the C1 right after, and I was disappointed because the
Mm,
plasma, in some aspects, it was superior to the C1. And C1 is a better TV in almost every single way, but you cannot expect a $25 TV to be better
right.
than a $1,000 TV on anything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nothing can be better. And I was surprised that things like full screen colors, like you get like a better color uniformity, and not color uniformity is because plasma TVs can have dirt to screen effect and other defects. But yeah, when you display a solid color on a plasma, it looks so good,
Yeah.
so good. And they say the plasmas don't have like those metameric issues or something like that. Like if you have a white screen, it looks like more white, more clean, more
Yep.
pure.
That's
And
true.
and then the viewing angles are stellar. They all also have great viewing angles. The color saturation, sometimes it was looking more saturated, but we're not talking about accuracy, none of that. It's
Sure.
just the way it was looking to me.
Yeah.
And when I made those videos, I made it very clear, hey, right now to my eyes this thing's just looking better in some ways, and that shouldn't be the case.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah.
You know what? I think, and listen, this is just the fan within me of your content because I am a fan. I will always make that known. When you hit 100,000, I'm gonna be able to say, you know what? When he was just at 500, I was a fan, right? So the part of it is just like I see the passion within you when you even just talk about like your enjoyment of spending $25 on a TV. Like I that's how I feel when I see the excitement, the enjoyment. That's what I want everybody to experience from your channel, because it's not about, like, at some point this becomes a business, right? And so it being a business, like, I'm a businessman. When this becomes a business, it becomes about links. It becomes about affiliate links and selling this and selling that. But to the core, the grassroots of you building what this is, the foundation, is just that you enjoy what you're doing, right? And some people might lose that within me, because they'll say, well, shit, this guy just spent $5,000 on a TV. He just spent $4,500 on a TV. He just spent $3,000 on a TV. And they forget that. They're thinking, okay, he's just blowing money. But it's like, no, it started from the same thing. It's just I enjoyed the panel and I enjoyed learning the inner workings of it. So I'm telling you, brother, like that's the fan in me of you is just seeing that. And I'm like, man, I just adore that about you. So keep that up, man.
Man, but you're an enthusiast too, because just because you have the resources to get all the TVs, that doesn't mean that you should get it. Like, I mean, you get the TVs because you have passion about that too.
Yep.
Like, there's no reason, because let's say that, you know, money is not a question, resources don't matter. You still get a TV, you have to get it out of the box, you know, change this from this place to the other. Like, you have to struggle just to set up the thing. So you need passion for that. It's a lot of work. Like, I see videos where you're saying, man, I need to move this from here to here, and then put this downstairs, and then go and do this and that. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, man.
And those TVs are huge, so you need some help too.
When I meet a lot of people, it's always funny, man, because I meet a lot of people and I don't think they really expect me to be as enthusiastic as I am. But I really am passionate about it, man. I want to go to the comment section.
Yeah.
The Cannon Movement. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? That's my man's right there. Y'all tap into him. There was the comment I seen. SB Digital, I've seen you comment several times on my channel. I've seen you venture around the different YouTubers. He said, I thoroughly enjoyed both channels. Thank you for both. Thank you both for all the amazing content. We appreciate you, brother. We really do. Yeah. So said, instead of going to the gym, TKK does TV reps. Yeah, I do TV reps, man. Unlike anybody you've ever seen, like ever. You'd have to be in, and I don't mean this with any ego. I have a couple of friends that are personal friends of mine that are into TVs. You would have to be in that clique to be able to really want to get TVs at the frequency that we do. Like, outside of making them for content, like as a consumer, it's really hard to buy TVs at this level, because I really look forward to them. You know what I mean? It's not about views. It's just like, even with the camera being off, it's just something that I'm just organically passionate with. And everybody doesn't understand it, and that's okay, because it's my thing. It's like I said, you go into some people's homes and you might see them collecting deer heads. You know, they might be shooting, hunting bulls and stuff like that. And they got those, you know, those ornaments or those trophies hung up on their walls. Like, for me, it's TVs. That's just kind of what I'm into. So I enjoy this hobby. I really do.
You know what I would like to do if I were you, TKK? I enjoy a lot trying, because, you know, each TV might have something that you like something very particular. You know, okay, I like the reds of QD. Of course, it has a more color saturation. But there's something specifically, even you have two QD OLEDs, you have the A95L, that's 95C. You might enjoy something specifically, like a kind of look for this TV. Something.
Five.
Huh?
5 QD OLEDs.
Yeah. Something that I would like to do, I would enjoy doing, would be having the TVs side by side. Of course, you cannot have 5 TVs. I mean, you would need I don't know, it's too much. But you know, once at a time, I would like to have 2 TVs side by side and play around with the settings. We're not talking about accuracy here. I would enjoy just trying to make them look the same, or trying to capture what I like about this TV, trying to capture that and put it on the other TV, something like that. See, and if I cannot figure it out, I would like to, you know, just try to figure it out, you know, get more knowledge, see how can I do that to perceptually match them, and read something about it. That's something that I would really, really enjoy. And imagine that you can watch all the TVs you have at home, okay? And then, okay, this is something very special that this TV has. Let me try to capture that. If you learn with experience, if you learn how to capture what you really like about each TV and put it all together in one TV, and you're like, this is the picture that I want. This is what I like.
Mhm.
That would be amazing. I think that's something that I would enjoy doing.
It's what I strive for, to be honest with you, man. You know, I read there's a YouTuber or person that's on YouTube. His name is I think it's Bill's channel, and I enjoy talking to Bill. You know, whenever I'm talking to him, I call him by his first name just because he shares some personal things, and like there's great. And he made a comment one time. This was many, many months ago on my channel, and he said, "Hey man," he said, "what I enjoy about seeing your channel is that, you know, you're just looking for the perfect TV." And the reality is like this, okay? So I've got multiple 77-inch currently, right? Now, it was only until 2 years ago when I got the C1. That was my first 77-inch. Prior to that, it was all 65 inches, right? So now here I am. I've got multiple 77 inches. I've given 77 inches away, right? And so I have these TVs, and some of these TVs are of the literal same panel technology. Let's take S95C and A95L to be an example. And it's like I've set these TVs to look exactly the same, and I don't enjoy them. I don't. It's like one setting looks right on one and one setting looks right on another. And that's not something that you can understand with having fanboyism. Like if you have the filter of fanboyism put onto your face, right, through your optics, you're not going to understand that. At the end of the day, the type of content that I make is supposed to make you understand that, listen, there are people like me out there realistically that will buy multiple TVs because I can appreciate a different look on different panels. And so while I wish there was one TV that could just do everything, I have made all of these TVs in my own personal settings look the same, and I just am not happy with them. If
You
that
want to,
makes any sense.
yeah, you want to enjoy what make them special, because each company, even if they have the same panel, they have their own color science. Or like, for example, they say that Sony has their own, like, Judd, or like a white point or something like that. That is basically they're trying to make it match the reference monitor or something like that.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you would need to lower like the blue and the green to get
Yep.
65 or something.
Yep.
And that's just like a different kind of look maybe that the
Yeah.
Sonys have. But in
Correct.
your case, I mean, you are not a fanboy when you don't choose which TV to buy. You buy them all. So
Yeah, I mean,
there's no
I mean,
fanboy there.
yeah, I mean, so normally I start doing my research. I mean, I use all the normal outlets. Like I like to go to a CES. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do what I can to research that. And by the way, I'm going to like, my goal is to get you to come to my house. Like I'm gonna work on making that happen so that we can make content together. So I'm gonna put that out there. Like that might not happen this year, but it's definitely a goal of next year. The goal is to get us in a video together, in a series of videos, so that you can look at my collection and you can have a more intimate experience there. But I
I
am
would go
planning on
crazy
trying.
with all those TVs.
Yeah, man, I know, but listen, the enjoyment would be like a kid in a candy store. That's how you would be. And it's not even about you being around like expensive technology, but it's about the research. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're the perfect type of person that I'm a fan of. I'm only a fan of people and watching people that are like you. Like, you're the type of YouTuber for TVs that I watch. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I watched people for years until I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and do this. Because I've been spending the bag on this stuff. But when I watch you, I'm like, damn, this is the kind of content. You're the type of YouTuber who every video I've watched, I've seen every single video you've had. Every single video I have watched.
Oh, thank you very much, man. Let me tell you a secret, man. Let me tell you something, because this is something that people here in the US might not understand if I don't tell you. Basically, I come from Cuba. The reason why I get excited about this stuff is because this is a dream for me. This is not possible in Cuba. Like there's no way I can have, a $3,000 PC or, with a high-end TV. That's just not a possibility. So the reason why I am happy every day, with the things that I already have is because I am able to realize how amazing that is. Okay. So I get excited about everything just because I feel fortunate enough to be here and to have this opportunity. Like I just go to the grocery store here in the US and I'm like, man, this is insane, bro. Like you just go to Costco or something like that. It's like huge. The abundance is mind blowing. I come from Cuba. That's why I'm so excited. I am like, it's an injection of emotion just to have the opportunity to play with these expensive toys. Basically, that's why. So you gotta understand, me coming from a third world country, no opportunities, no money, no economy, no expensive toys. You know what I was using in Cuba to play? And 720p LCD office monitor, 720p, and I beat Dark Souls 3 at 40 frames per second, okay, with a mouse. And because I didn't know English, I couldn't read the tutorials at the beginning, so I didn't know that there was a lock button to lock into the enemy. So I was playing with a mouse, controlling the camera manually at 40 frames per second on an LCD 720p office monitor, 60 hertz, without VSync tearing, like just trash performance. See, so that's the kind of experiences that I was having playing until 5 years ago. I've been here in the US for less than 5 years. See, so when I come here and I have this set up, this is amazing, bro. Like it's just a dream. That's why I get excited about this.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, and I've shared this on my channel, man. I'm a family man. I have 8 kids, and when I listen to that type of background, it makes me appreciate the opportunities that I've already got. So while I didn't come from a third world country, I come from a poverty situation, and so I feel the same. Like I really do. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of things that were in front of me growing up that I wanted to be accessible for me, but they were not. And so that's why, we got a term called balling. That's why I just listen, I make it happen. If I want it, I'm gonna make it happen, right? And so I respect you, man, and that's why I have no problem with showcasing my enjoyment of the content that you make, man.
Thank you very much, man. I'm really looking forward to that day if we can get together. You live on Detroit?
Now I'm from Detroit. Detroit.
Oh, you're not.
Detroit's nice place, but not a nice place. You know what I mean? But I had to reposition myself out of Detroit, not of Michigan. Yeah, I live down south in the country, in the States. But yeah, we're gonna make that happen. That's 100%. Like probably sometime in the new year, we'll get schedules aligned and we'll work something out, man. I would like for you to be able to come to where I'm at. You know what I mean? Spend some time. We create some content. We get the brotherly bond, and we get to show people that you can have 2 different people from 2 different circumstances who are both just enjoying this hobby, who can get together and can talk to each other like brothers. Like I told people in the beginning of this stream, you have my personal number. Like there's not a lot of people that can reach me, that can actually talk to me. And it's not that I think I'm some celebrity, but when if a person sees me in person, I'm not like this person that you can just have access to, and you have access to me, and it's because I just respect you, and I want to make sure that's known. But we are coming up on the hour on this, brother. I do have to cut this. I got to be responsible. I got to run my business in the morning. So I
Absolutely,
appreciate you,
man. Brother, well, thank you very much for being here, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm open to the opportunity anytime. You can call me, and we'll figure it out. Do a live stream on your channel, whatever. We are here
for sure, man. So thank you for having me, and
thank you very much,
came into the chat. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all seeing this on my channel. If this is on a playback, make sure y'all subscribe to him. Like I said, I can't believe that I got 10,000 subscribers, but I truly believe this man deserves to have 20,000 subscribers now. So make sure y'all subscribe, support his channel.
Thank you very much. Hey, link in the description of the video. I put your TKK's YouTube channel, so check him out. I'm just gonna stay here for a moment to read the comments because I don't want to leave. There's a lot of comments I couldn't read anything on So
That's
yeah, we'll
cool.
see you then, man. Thank you very
So
much for being
I'm
here.
gonna hop off of here and I'm gonna end it like I always do. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, man, max love.
Max love. Thank you, man. Okay, well let me go over the comments before we finish the stream. Okay, I want to just go real quick and cover some of the comments. Okay, so the first thing we got is I got this Douglas Wright saying, "Hey Plasma, I appreciate the simplified settings for OLED Motion Pro in the past. You've been nothing but helpful in my LG C1 journey, so much so running 3 of them." Strong, 3 LG C1s. Wow. Are they the same size? I'm not sure if you're still here. I mean, it has been an hour, and this was one of the first comments. That's amazing. 3 LG C1s. So let's see what else we have here. Do see myself trading in one of my LG C1s in the future for a phosphorus OLED. But until then, 100% happy with that. With what I got. Yeah, the phosphorus blue is gonna make a big difference. What I would like to see is them eliminating the white subpixel, if that's possible, because the green and the red are already phosphorus, I believe. So if they get the blue phosphorus, they might get more brightness without having to add the white. The white subpixel is not. It adds a lot of downsides. We need it for the brightness, but it would be better if it was just RGB. I'm not sure if LG can do that with this phosphorus blue. Just give you an RGB OLED that is phosphorus, red, green, and blue. But that might have some other downsides, like one of them gets worn out faster or something like that. Maybe that happens, and I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get, but that's a good idea. I think that QD OLED with the phosphorus blue has tremendous potential because the OLED on the QD OLEDs is fluorescent blue. So you have that quantum dot layer, and then you have the fluorescent blue on the back. So if you replace that fluorescent with phosphorus, that's going to be insane. But the thing is, they're just going to give you a little bit more brightness and lower the power. That's what I think is going to happen, because save the power, save the planet with $3,000 TVs. They think that makes sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so Maratax TV says, "Hey, you need to join the Special K Discord so people can help you set up some tools." That's a good idea. I'll try to figure it out. The thing is, I am only on YouTube for now because I am still new to the internet. Like I created a Facebook page just to use Facebook Marketplace, but I don't use Facebook, Twitter, none of that. So I am only on YouTube for now. And it is a lot of time. It's a big investment, but I'll try to figure it out to be on other social media platforms. Maratax TV says, all your favorite developers are there. You mean Lilium, Major Pain, Pumbo. Okay. I have to join that Special K Discord to get some boost in the knowledge, because they are the creators of these applications that I'm trying to figure out. They are there. That's a great idea. They watch my videos. They should give me some advice then on the videos. I haven't get a lot of feedback. Liliums have made some comments, but it seems like they're busy. I make way too many videos, it seems. Hamza says, no 144 hertz dropouts on the 77-inch S90C also. Oh yeah, we're talking about S90C 2nd gen QD OLED with a 77-inch. And I heard that the 55 and 65-inch from S95Cs, they are slowly getting the 2nd gen panel. That's why I asked TKK if maybe there was a way to just know that it is a 2nd gen panel just by looking at the way the screen looks. So in that way, you might be able to go to the store and buy one and say, okay, I didn't like this one, bring another one. And I didn't like this one either, until you get that 2nd gen QD OLED. I mean, but yeah, it might not be possible to know. Douglas Wright said, wow, didn't you Didn't know you went all the way back to CRTs, TKK. Oh yeah. So good solid question for TKK. Oh yeah, he already answered that. Now what? Now that the A95L hype has had a week to wear off, I'm gonna grab the 77-inch S90C. I mean, to be honest, if I were to buy a QD OLED, that would be the ideal one. Okay, no one connect box, so no issues with the dropouts. You get a second gen QD OLED panel. You can go to the service menu, get even more brightness. You know, with this second gen QD OLED panel, you can get 2000 nits, okay? Even with accurate and with warm color temperature, okay? So that's amazing. That's a lot better than what Samsung is allowing you. Of course, not for everybody, but I would definitely do that. No question in my mind. Sagas Gamer says, getting my TTX3 finally Tuesday. It comes in. I don't know what TTX3 is. Let me know. The largest CRT was a Sony that you could buy was 40 inches. That should be like insane, like 300 pounds, like TKK was saying. Ronald said, no Dolby Vision for the S90C. I'm getting the A95L. Yeah, Sony has the Dolby Vision. Dropouts are the One Connect box related. Doesn't happen at all for me on S90C. PS1 says, Ariel knows how junk the arcade ones up are low. Okay, I don't know about that. Let's see. I don't know enough about Dolby Vision to pay an extra $2,500 for the A95L 77-inch, and I'm not paying the same money for the 65-inch when the S90C gives you 90% of the performance. I mean, Dolby Vision for gaming is irrelevant. Like, there's no Dolby Vision. Now HDR10 Plus might become a thing. There's a new game coming out. I think it's out already, maybe. I haven't tried. I have to search. It's the new Descendant or something like that has HDR10 Plus. And what HDR10 Plus is NVIDIA and the GPU drivers getting involved in the HDR tone mapping. So that's good news. It should look very good. I would like to see how that plays out. The HDR10 Plus. So for gaming, HDR10 Plus, it would definitely be more relevant than Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is just, I believe it's just gonna, for gaming, it's just never gonna happen. Because you have to pay royalties for that or something. And the developers are not gonna pay anything for that. I don't believe. If they have to pay, I'm not sure. That's what I believe. Douglas Wright says it is definitely a software issue as well. So it might happen on the S90C, maybe. The dropouts, that's what they're talking about. Someone asked, can I join the Special K Discord? I think anyone can join the Special K Discord. I'm not sure. Sagas Gamer says they're big, 19 inches. Hansa said Dolby Vision should not be a deciding factor. What's the best? So Douglas asked, what's the best CRT to buy when shopping around the used market? What's the value keen as well? Well, CRTs are very expensive, especially after Digital Foundry hyped up the FW900 because it's a CRT that is 16 by 10. So the aspect ratio of the CRT is better for the games and the content that we have today. And it's a very, very good CRT. It's more than 2K, I believe. And yeah, I don't think that CRT has the best motion clarity, though. I believe it has 2 milliseconds of persistence. I'm not sure. So that wouldn't be my first choice. I would get the biggest CRT you can get with the highest resolution. So a monitor, basically, because TVs are lower resolution on the CRTs. So get the biggest CRT you can get with the highest resolution, 100 hertz at least. And yeah, that's what I would hunt for. There are very good CRTs. The Sony Trinitrons, the Diamontrons, or what was the name of that brand? Diamontron, something like that. I forgot. Yeah, there are many good CRTs you might get on the used market. They say that it is better to hunt for CRTs with the name of old monitor or something like that, or old TV, because people that know what they have, they're going to sell that for a very high price. So you might find someone who just posts, okay, old monitor, and it's like like a Trinitron monitor, something like that. So you might get like a score there. Bardax TV says, sure, everyone can join the Special K Discord. The link is on the Special K website to join their Discord. Douglas Wright says, Ariel, question for you. What would be the end game panel for you in regards to motion clarity? End game, we're talking about the best motion clarity I would be able to appreciate. It would be, depending on the resolution, the screen size, it matters a lot, okay? So 8K, I believe that a flat panel, 8K is where it's at. Because 16K, to enjoy 16K, you really need like a larger field of view, like a absolutely massively gigantic TV. So I think 8K is where it's at. So we're talking about 8K is 4K TVs in terms of the amount of pixels. So that's a lot of content. That's a lot of sharpness and definition. So you can turn off TAA and make it look good. I hope so. I've never tried that. I would actually like to try an 8K TV, turn off anti-aliasing completely. Not on one of the latest games, because the latest games, they look terrible if you turn off anti-aliasing. But like an older game that it looks like 8K if you turn off anti-aliasing, to see how that looks. I would love to test that on an 8K screen. So for 8K, 8,000 hertz. That's what because you get 8K, 8,000 hertz, that would allow you to have 1 millisecond of persistence. No, I'm sorry. That would allow you to have 1 pixel of motion blur with an object that is moving left to right and taking 1 second to cover a screen width. Okay, so an object on an 8K TV, if you have an object moving left to right and taking 1 second, if you want that object to look perfectly clear, you need 8,000 hertz. So I would be playing my games at 8K, no anti-aliasing, 8,000 FPS, and I would be happy. That's kind of overkill, but yeah, if you ask me about the end game, so of course the VR headset is gonna be a better experience, most likely. So yeah, so we get a lot of WhatsApps. All my Discord pots, new games, candy caps, sometimes 240. Awesome, thank you, Ariel. It is time for you to upgrade from the C1. We need picture settings for QD OLED, says Dukes. I was actually thinking on getting an S95B when they dropped down to $1,000, and I almost got it. I almost got a 55-inch S95B, but I didn't have like a space for it, man. Like I already have 3 TVs, and I don't want to throw away what I have. But I thought about it. I really, really thought about it. I was this close to get an S95B, but I will get a QD OLED at some point. It will happen. I just don't know when, but it will happen because I want to have a QD OLED at some point. I'm a display enthusiast. I want to have a mini LED, QD OLED, dual layer LCD, CRT, plasma. I want to have everything. It's because I like it. Ariel is Italiano. I can tell. SB Digital says, wow, good to see Plasma and TKK channel. Yeah, I'm glad we got TKK here today. Returnal is an underrated game, beautiful on QD OLED. Returnal is an amazing game, especially on HDR. Returnal, actually, as far as I can remember, Returnal was the first game and really the only game I can remember that I opened on my PC. It supports the system level calibration, no black level rays, no settings. It just works. Returnal. If you just want to have a good experience with your HDR display, you open Returnal. You're not gonna have any issues. Just need to set the HDR calibration app on Windows 11 on the PC. It's just gonna be flawless. Absolutely amazing. Mirage happened before Valhalla. Yeah, it was gonna be a DLC, Assassin's Creed Mirage. I haven't tried it yet. I actually like a lot the way Assassin's Creed Origins look, and Mirage is remembering me to that, the way it looks. I actually like the graphics and the way the game looks. Assassin's Creed Origins, I like it way more in terms of the graphics than Odyssey. I beat them both. Even the DLC, the Pharaohs, I forgot there's something Pharaohs on the Assassin's Creed Origins, and all the DLCs of Odyssey. And I do like the gameplay of Assassin's Creed Odyssey more, but in terms of the visual quality, the desert lands and the draw distance and all of that, Origins was looking at way better. So I'm excited about this Mirage because I like it the way it looks more. And I like these yellowish colors like sand, the desert. I think I enjoyed that kind of visuals more than just forest and stuff. Forest is very nice, but the thing is, it's very difficult to do. It's very, very difficult to see the forest looking good on the games. Very, very tough to reproduce. So I think it is an easier time to be fully immersed when you have desert and all of that, because it just looks more realistic. It is easier to make it look convincing. Basically, it is more convincing, easier to be convincing. Rufus says, question, can you guys explain this? Oh, we got over that question already. Okay. Positive. I remember him from Cuba, I think. Yeah. 24 FPS, Dream Effect, says Maradax TV. It is enough frames to make your brain feel like it is watching a movie, something not real, and it will fill the rest of the frames. Movies at higher FPS cause soap opera effect. Basically, you're watching something real. I believe that movies should be high FPS, period. Like, I would like to watch movies at the highest FPS of the display that I have. So if I have a 480 hertz display, I would like to see the movies at 480 real FPS. The thing is that just not gonna happen. Okay, we're not even getting 60. Okay, and they consider 48 FPS to be high frame rate, and that's just not high frame rate. That's a very, very low frame rate, and it looks very bad too. It looks less worse than 24 FPS. So in my opinion, I want all the content to be as high FPS as possible. Okay, it looks better. No question about that. I do not see anything cinematic about a low frame rate. It looks horrendous, absolutely terrible, especially when you see something that is panning. It looks very, very bad. So yeah, I do not like any movies at 24 frames per second. It really, really sucks. So adding a pixel between two existing pixels to make it more fluent. I'm not sure about that. Sounds like a good idea. I keep telling that to TKK. Okay, he answered that question. Plasma, T for gaming, and Special K Discord is waiting for you. Okay, well, thank you. I was surprised when TKK got the Q saying, okay, we answered that. Special K is also able to reduce input lag exponentially in 60 FPS fighting games using latent sync. Latent sync on Special K. I'm not sure if that's the same as the NVIDIA ultra low latency plus boost. I'm gonna try to look for that. What is that latent sync setting on Special K? I'll try to figure that out. Let me know if you're still here. The other guy says, hey Ariel, I know you will get a kick out. I know you will get a kick out of this. I just brought my girlfriend a 63-inch Samsung PN63B 55 1080p plasma TV off Craigslist, or $200. Last ship date 210. It is original. MSRP was $3,300. That's amazing, man. 63 inches from 2010. That's amazing. I mean, if it's in good conditions, good for you, man. Let me know how are you liking it. 1080p, 600 hertz, Field drive. I hacked her NVIDIA registry, and she can now play her PC on it at 8K. Oh, I remember the other guy. He has a YouTube channel. I think he helped me with the CRU app. So you got a plasma TV, man. That's awesome. I remember I watched your video of the CRU. It was like 1 hour long. I watched the entire video. He knows a lot about that app, so I learned a couple tips from him. Gang08 says, I rewatched your reaction about the AMD 7900 announcement. At one point, they showed washed out game snippets without noticing it. Yeah, I mean, they show washed out games all the time for some reason. So, okay. I mean, we still have a lot of comments, but I want to just go over them. So let's see if I can finish them. Miguel Carneiro says, I get it. My friend Ariel brought what is cool with those two TVs because no one tested those like they should be. And TK Case is the right person to do that. Absolutely. I believe it, says Lady Hera. Michael Carneiro says, but I don't want to be boring. Thanks for your understanding. Soon I'm upgrading my 65-inch LG C17 to a 77-inch S90C next month, Black Friday. Enjoy, man. That's awesome. Don't throw the C1 away, though. Just keep it around, just in case. I want to taste the QD OLED. Absolutely. I mean, QD OLED has a beautiful color saturation, much better screen uniformity. You get the perfect blacks. Just make sure you're in a dark room, okay? So you don't get raised black under lighting conditions. And yeah, it is definitely an upgrade. You get a higher full screen brightness. You do get a brighter display, significantly brighter display, because a full screen brightness, it gives you the impression that it is just brighter. You know, the highlights just being brighter is not as big of a difference as jumping from 150 nits full screen to 250. Okay, I mean, the S90C without tweakings or anything, I don't remember. The S95C is 250. I'm not sure. The S90C might be 200. I'm not sure, but that still makes a difference at full screen brightness. SB Digital says, I thoroughly enjoy both channels. Thank you both for the amazing content. Thank you very much, man, for your kind words. But I'm afraid of Samsung port build quality. I wouldn't be concerned about the build quality if you can return it, basically. If you can just get another one. Because all you have to do is just keep swapping them until you get a good one. So once you get a good one, that build quality issue is gone. You have a good sample. So if you can return it or check it out on the store, maybe open it on the store. But you know, maybe you get it home and then you realize, oh, it has this issue that I didn't notice. That can happen. But yeah, it's what it is. So instead of going to the gym, TKKs, those TV frames. Okay, he answered that question. It's like a video game collector. They're holy grail. Okay, I think we covered all the. Oh no, we still have. Love the content from both, honest and genuine. Thank you very much. PlaySync Tech. Trevor Murdoch says, so happy to see TKK and Plasma together. I lost my. Thank you. Wow, this is awesome. The passion and dedication is next level. Most genuine stream I've ever seen in a minute. We had a moment there, okay? We definitely had a moment there. This was very good. We're very good live stream. I like it. I enjoy it a lot. Plasma TV for gaming. Thoughts on 5090 from NVIDIA price? I have a feeling this 4K 8K monster is going to cost at least $2,000 minimum, or maybe more. Yeah, it's definitely $2,000. They are stepping up the price for sure. But I'm not expecting it next year. I don't know because I don't see them having a reason, especially when they're saying that AMD might not even come out with a competitor for the 5090. Like they're going to stay at the mid-range. So I don't know if that's true, if it's just like a false leaking or something like that. I don't know. But I don't see the 5090 happening anytime soon. But yeah, $2,000, man, you have to If you want the best of the best, you have to pay for it. I might get it. If I am in a better position, I might get it. Okay, I might get it. I still got my LG C1, man. It's still pretty good. Absolutely. It's a legendary TV at this point, like SB Digital says. The LG C1, just because of this OLED Motion Pro High that works at 100 and 120 FPS, it's just legendary status right now. The LG C1 CX is their legendary TVs just because of that. And of course, G1, GX. The other guy says, "Hey Ariel, I know you will get a kick." Okay, he copied that comment again. Plasma, I want to ask you about HDR signals. How goes though a capture card like Elgato? I like it to use it for recording. Do you think that the HDR signal loses a lot and needed 10 bits? I have an Elgato 4K 60 Pro and I've never used it as a capture card because I don't have a second PC. Every time I record from my PC, I've been using just a GPU. So I have no experience, no feedback recording using that Elgato 4K 60 Pro. I have no idea how good it is. Gaming Tech have used that. Maybe ask him. It's limited, I believe, so it's not full 444. But it looks very good. Ask Gaming Tech; he has more experience using that. Elgato takes only 2.0 HDMI and can 8 bits. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. TTX3 is arcade hardware, essentially a computer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I asked you about that. Yeah, I remember that. Wait, your comment. Also, I purchased Acer says. Also, I purchased the C3 42-inch, and it says that they have 730 nits peak brightness. Is it still enough for a good HDR experience? Yeah, absolutely. You're not gonna see any difference between 730 nits highlights and 800 nits highlights. It's just the same. The thing that makes the biggest difference in terms of how much brighter the TV looks or the monitor is full screen brightness. That's it. Let's say you get a monitor that is 400 nits full screen. Okay, it's just full screen 400 nits, like the upcoming QD OLEDs. That's 240 hertz, 4K 240 hertz. It's gonna be 250 nits full screen, like the S95C, and it's gonna be 400 nits on a 10% window. Okay, and it's gonna go higher on like a 1%, like a very 5% windows. It's gonna go higher, but a 10% window is 400 nits, but it is 250 nits full screen. Okay, so that is definitely gonna look brighter than your LG C3, even if it is 730 nits on a 10% window. Why? Because of the APL, the average picture level, the brightness, that full screen brightness power. That's what gives you the impression that the display is brighter more than anything else. Trust me. You try 250 nits full screen side by side with another display that is 150 nits, and it might have even 1500 nits highlights. Okay, 250 nits full screen is gonna look brighter, and it's just the way it is. Full screen brightness, it makes a bigger difference. So the C3 might have more. I don't think so. It might have like 150 nits to full screen. So you're not gonna see that difference. 730 to 800 nits, the same thing. And 4000 nits HDR. Ellie Black says, "Yo, Ellie Black, he's one of the OGs on the channel. What's up, my man? Color banding detection on." He has a color banding detector. Do you think, Dennis says, do you think that an HDR 600 VESA certified monitor IPS on HDR looks better than a plasma TV on SDR? That's a good question. Brightness, yeah, it's gonna be brighter. The colors, the brightness, the power, it might look better. Like if you just have them side by side. But the contrast of a plasma TV is gonna be much better. A good plasma TV, let's say, is gonna be much better. So without mini LED, LCDs just cannot compete with plasmas because of the native contrast ratio. Okay, contrast is the most important attribute of picture quality, and plasmas are self-emissive, so no blooming either. Okay, viewing angles on the plasma, stellar viewing angles, screen uniformity in terms of the, if you see like a solid color on a plasma, it looks much better. It's a superior technology. They just don't make them anymore. That's it. Ali Black asked me, did you try Assassin's Creed Mirage yet? Not yet. I haven't tried. I saw the Gaming Tech video about the HDR, and it looks like garbage to me. I mean, it seems like it is the same trash as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, maybe a little bit less worse. But yeah, I saw the HDR analysis tool, and it just looks like garbage. Auto HDR it should be better than the native HDR there. But I will try it. I will try it. Erisa says, we'd love to see you streaming some playthrough on Twitch, man. Twitch, that's another platform. Yeah, I'm planning to share some gameplay with the games that I like. Just to share the way I enjoy the games, because everyone has their own ways, and sometimes you're wondering, man, what do they like about this kind of game? So for example, I want to get into Baldur's Gate 3 and this kind of turn-based games. I wouldn't try it myself. So maybe even before trying it myself, I would watch a video of someone who enjoy those kinds of games, to see what is that they like about them. What is that they do? Like, how do you enjoy that thing? See? So it is basically try to see someone else's perspective about a game, because in that way you might be able to then look at the game with a different point of view and learn to enjoy the game on a different way, because you see, okay, this is what they do, this is what they like, this is what they're focused on. So that's the value of just sharing the gameplay. Otherwise, it's like kind of weird. Why would you watch somebody else playing? Like, just play yourself. But it does make sense. And I've watched sometimes because it's funny. This guy that I find on the internet, Dr. Disrespect, he's hilarious. He puts a character out there, like a persona, and he's a master of that. He's so good. It's just he's very, very good. Very, very good. Very smart guy. Very, very smart. PS1 Freaks 20 says, how is the motion for 24 FPS movies on the C1 TV? Is it better than the OLED? How is the motion for 24 FPS movies on the TCL TV? Is it better than the OLED? I have no idea. It needs to use interpolation, otherwise 24 FPS is too low. HD Movie Source, hey, what's up? Shout out to HD Movie Source YouTube channel. He really enjoyed the color temperature meter app to calibrate the TVs. It's very fun, man. It's very, very fun to use. The issue is people that like watching movies and film fanatics like movies in 24 FPS. I demoed a $10,000 video processor called MadVR that can convert 24 FPS to 60 FPS, and it was butterly smooth. Interesting, man. $10,000 video processor. Really? What is that? $10,000 video processor called MadVR. Huh, VR. So they are using that for 3D and VR? It's not like a very high quality interpolation. That sounds amazing to me. I would like to try that. Let me know more about it. Maybe make a video about it. I would definitely watch that. HD Movie Source. Make a video about this MadVR device. I'm interested about that. Just share your experience if you have it. I mean, if you can convert from 24 to 60 FPS and then share that, I mean, you cannot share a movie because it's copyright content. Maybe a demo. Maybe do that. For example, do that with a trailer, with a movie trailer. If you can share that file your Google Drive or something like that, so we can try it. That would be awesome. It would be huge. Just do like a very short movie trailer. OP Bro says, "Hey, hello, sir. How are you? I'm doing great, man. Very happy." Ellie Black is laughing at me and saying he has a color banding detector. He's like, "Hey, bro, I was testing Assassin's Creed Mirage and I'm seeing some color banding thing here that doesn't look good. When I go under the water, I'm starting to see color banding, bro." He doesn't like it, color banding. Matooth66 says, "I just got a TV with 1200 nits SDR, 1200 nits SDR, and I have it on brightness 10, and even that is too bright on the dark." Which TV is that, man? 1200 nits SDR, is that full screen? 1200 nits? I'll be bananas. So absolutely insane. Hansa said, "Just watched M3 Gun 4K Blu-ray on 77-inch S90C, incredible picture quality." That's awesome, man. I'm a professional editor, OP Bro says. QD OLEDs need to be seen in person. Yeah, the color saturation is just beautiful. Very, very, very. When you see that color red popping, it's just insane. SB Digital says, "Will, I'm about to go play Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty." Thank you for staying and reading the comments. Have a great evening. Ali Black says, "I don't think you will like it. Assassin's Creed Mirage, it is so much bad. Tried the native HDR and HLG and it's still so bad." Because they probably using the same engine, same tool. Maybe they didn't even work on it. Just copy and paste, same crap, HDR, same trash. I don't know why, because Ubisoft has some games with great HDR. The Division 2 has a little minor black level race, but it looks very good. Far Cry 6 also has a minor black level race. I thought it was perfect, but I actually tried the other day. It has minor black level race. On the PC, we use this Lilium's HDR Black Floor fixed shader, enable SDR Black Floor emulation, and we fixed that near black. It looks too bright near black. We fixed that, and it looks perfect, basically. Nathan Green says, "Hey, I remember Nathan Green when we were trying to figure it out if QD OLEDs had, race blacks, and the G3 was the G3. If it had less like race blacks because of the MLA." Nathan Green was researching. He told me, "Hey, bro, here's the video that proves that the G3 has race blacks under lighting conditions." It was very difficult to find that information. So Nathan Green says QD OLED is good, but the race blacks, see, that's what he's all about. He doesn't like that. Okay, he doesn't like that. The race blacks with ambient light is a bummer. Yeah, it's definitely a bummer, man. I would like to see a QD OLED version with the polarizer, even if it's half the brightness, okay? Even if it's like 180 nits, 150 nits full screen, but you get that better color saturation. Even if it's like the peak brightness is like 700 nits, half the peak brightness with the polarizer, it would be brighter maybe. But I would like to see that, an option, a QD OLED with that kind of thing, so you don't have the race blacks issues. But if you are in a dark room, some say, why would you have a polarizer and lose brightness if you're in a dark room anyway? And if you need to be in a dark room anyway to get the best picture quality, why would you care about race blacks under lighting conditions? So I think that maybe the only downside would be that even on a dark room, the brightness of the TV itself might light up the things that are close to it. I would need to test that, but that's a possibility that might happen. So it might not look as contrasty as 3D, like they say. I believe when people refer to, oh, this TV looks like 3D, they are referring to a higher contrast, basically. It looks more deep, like you have more deep blacks. Maybe the TV is crushing blacks, and that's why it looks more 3D, and that's not something necessarily good. Payne says, I'm looking to upgrade from an LG C2 65-inch to a 77-inch S90C. That's a huge upgrade. The size by itself is an upgrade. The QD OLED screen uniformity, color saturation, full screen brightness is another upgrade. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I would definitely do that if I were you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hamza says, Nathan, ambient light has to be pretty high for that. Yeah, on the store, it looks terrible. QD OLEDs on the store with those powerful lights, it just looks very, very crazy. Will I ever finish? I'm trying to finish to read the comments fast. I'll try. I will do it for 10 more minutes. See if I can cover it. I heard that movies are made 24 frames because of a dreaming effect. No, they are just wrong. 24 FPS looks very bad. Hansa says, hey, I went from 65 A90J to a 77-inch S90C. Big upgrade. Yeah, the A90J is WRGB, I think. No, that's peak brightness. Haha. It is a Sony X90L. Oh, it's a Sony X90L. Oh, the peak brightness, not full screen brightness. Okay. That's the comment where they say SDR 1200 nits brightness. So he's saying peak brightness. The Sony X90L 1200 nits on SDR. That's super bright. So I wonder what's the full screen brightness of that. HD Movie Source says the Matte VR processor can tone map 10,000 nits to any nits you like to. The quality is better than Dolby Vision by far. It is excellent. Yeah, if it costs $10,000, you say, it better be amazing. For $10,000, woo, it should like just do like popcorn for you while you're watching the movie. That thing is just doing popcorn, so you can just eat it. I don't eat popcorn, by the way. I just eat fruits and vegetables and whole grains, starches. Nathan Green says, I went from LG C9 to Samsung S95B, returned it for the C2 because of the grayish screen. The WRGB are jet black. It is preference, I guess, but yes, they have incredible brightness and color. Yeah, I really, really like the way the screen of this WRGB OLEDs look without the MLA. It just looks so black. It's like a mirror, okay? Actually, sometimes I play the guitar in front of the TV and I can see myself. I can see my fingers, and I like that. I like to see, the technique when I'm shredding. So yeah, they are like a mirror, but I really, really like that. I think it's the best option in my opinion. The screen looks very, very good. Payne says, I bet, and by Black Friday, those prices should be looking right, and the prices even now are pretty good. The S90C, I guess you're talking about. Ali Black says, just try the new Assassin's Creed and you tell me about the color banding. It is horrible. You will remember me when you play it. Filling the gap, sorry. Hamza says, Payne, if you can look into pro calibration for it. Samsung limits HDR to P3 color space. BD 2020 is very overly saturated. Yeah, so the settings to use BD 2020 on this Samsung QD OLEDs, you have to lower the color saturation a little bit. So like there's like some recommendations. Watch Classy Tech Calibrations. He has a settings recommendation to use BD 2020, I think. Gaming Tech is using those settings, and he said it looks very good. The skin tones look natural, and you do get that BD 2020 color saturation, which is higher than P3. Then he says, I heard that movies are made for, this is the same comment I read before. Maton66 says, and I will say, Sony's jitter setting is amazing. Motion is so smooth. So you mean the motion interpolation from Sony, even on that Sony LCD screen. That's why I didn't get another OLED. This full array local dimming has really blown me away. Yeah, the motion settings on the TV, motion settings, the way they handle low bit rate and lower quality content is very important. And I think that's what they're saying, that's where the A95L is shining. When you have like a dark scene that is low bit rate, that it looks terrible. In other TVs, the Sony is like kind of cleaning that up a little bit with the processing and nice motion interpolation for movies. It definitely makes a big difference. That's something to look for sure. Payne says, yeah, I'll look into it. The QD OLED upgrade alone over WRGB OLED is worth it to me. Absolutely. Any chance you will buy a professional calibration tool in the future? Ali Black, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe never, but maybe I will. I'm not sure. Ace says, I'm very happy to join the OLED family and can't wait for the experience. I am ready, have the knowledge because of you. Okay, I got the C3, 899 euros plus $100 cash back from LG. Oh, that's awesome, man. Hope that was a good price. Price is a problem in the absence of value, in the absence of quality. I forgot the phrase. You get what I'm saying. If you like it, if that's what you wanted, who cares about the price, brother? That's the price you had available. So that's it. Just enjoy it. I sit like 6 feet away from my 77-inch low. Field of view is immersive. Yeah, you want to sit as close as possible without damaging your eyes to enjoy, that immersion. I love the screen size, the bigger screen size. I mean, even from my 48-inch LG C1 to 60-inch plasma, I really enjoyed the bigger size. It's really, really nice. Payne says, I 65.5 feet away. Okay, read that. Superman Taiko says, about motion clarity, have you seen the Sony professional PVM OLEDs? They have a feature that is absolutely awesome, rolling scan. It is better than the BF5, and it looks like BF5 120 on a C1. Yeah, I think I've seen some comments on the Blurbusters forum, or even on the Blurbusters Law article. There's something referring to one of those PVM monitors. I would love to see that, to test that. It's amazing. And if they have like some gamma adjustments for that, because they are reference monitors, I guess that they are calibrated to look good, even with that feature on. So that would be amazing. I'm not sure if they are 60 hertz only or 120. I don't know. It works at 60 FPS too, he says. No brightness drop. Huh. That would be amazing. Plasma, have you ever heard of Christie projectors? They have one called Griffin that cost 130 grand US. $130,000 for a projector. Plus, the projector doesn't work by itself. You need the setup, you need the screen, you need the place set up. Everything is. You need a theater basically for a projector. $130,000. Holy crap. Nathan Green says, hey man, did you check out Arteen's brand new video on their burning results over 8 months? Yeah, I did. LG essentially proves that they are the best. Shocker. And certain TVs are not doing pixel refresh when they should. Yeah, the S95C. They were saying that they didn't even know exactly what was going on with that. I did watch that Arteen's video. And basically what they are discovering is that more important than the differences on the technology or whatever is the way that they are doing this pixel refresh and the protection and all of that. And basically all the LG TVs and also the monitors are doing that pixel refresh after 4 hours. And other TVs, you turn it off and it's not happening, or it's happening like after 6 hours with the Sonys. For some reason, some don't do it at all sometimes when they should. And like the S95C Arteens were saying that, watch the video, I don't remember exactly, but they said that they didn't like the way Samsung set up the pixel refresh to protect the panel, really. And that's maybe why they were getting some burning things. So it is not like, oh, QD OLED technology is more likely to burn in. No, it's the way that they are setting up that pixel refresh and all of that. So let's say that LG decides to get into QD OLEDs and they set up the same protection system, or even or tweak for QD OLED, maybe more or less. You shouldn't have that issue. So it's not the technology itself, the problems with burning, and the Arteens reporting that. It seems like it is a problem with the way they have set up the protection mechanisms. We're not talking about the dimming. It's just that when you turn off the TV, it does the refresh, all the protection mechanisms that it does. What's better, the G2 83-inch or C3 83-inch? G2. The G2 is brighter than the C3. the peak brightness is higher. So there's, yeah, at about the same price, go for the G2, absolutely. And in terms of the color volume, the G2 is just as good almost as the G3. Okay, when when it comes to the colors, not the brightness, okay, the color volume. That's what I heard. Okay, I've never tested them. Game Enthusiast says Assassin's Creed Mirage supports Dolby Vision. Says it's on the back of the case. Can't wait for the A95L. Well, the HDR looks terrible. I don't know how is that going to look at Dolby Vision. On top says, do the phone calibration app accurate? I messed up my white balance settings in the service menu by hitting the reset without saving all its settings. Is it a big deal? I understand your situation. The thing is, you didn't use the phone app, so the color temperature meter app. If you used that app before that happened, and you know the numbers that you are supposed to get with accurate settings, then you can play around with the calibration to get back to that similar state. Okay, so let's say that your phone was reading 6650K with warm 50 and green to magenta balance 0.003. Then you can go back to that. But if you don't know what your phone was reading with that app before that issue happened, then you are it's a little bit more challenging. But I can still help you with that. Drop a comment on a video so I can think about it and give you some guidance with that. And I might even do a video about it. Hansa says 83-inch OLED right now have issues. Yeah, the bigger screen sizes have more uniformity issues and stuff. Marco L says, I'm proud of my C1, proud. And it has never given me any problems. I've never had any issues with my C1 either. Nathan says, I sit 4 feet away from the 77-inch C2, pure delight. Hansa said, I tried that. It strains my eyes a bit, bro. Game Enthusiasts, thank you, everybody. I finished. I read all the comments. Okay. Last comments. Marco L says, hey, Ariel, I'm following you from Italy. And on the next C4, they say that the Alpha 10 processor will have significantly higher quality, especially in the movement of images. Yeah, the motion interpolation is going to be better with a better processor. Thank you, everyone that showed up. I really appreciate you guys. Have a nice day, and thank you for being here. Have a good one, and thank you to TKK for joining the stream. Link in the description of the video to his YouTube channel. Check it out. Have a good one.